talk a little bit about why I decided to start this series. There's already a ton of creators of Minecraft on YouTube. Absolutely phenomenal, creative, and well-loved creators. And maybe some creators who aren't yet loved, but will find their time in the spotlight. Some would call it a saturated niche, and that's probably true. In fact, I actually don't know much about this space, which would probably make any person involved in business raise both their eyebrows. I don't know what's trending, or really who the big contenders are or anything. I've watched some Welcome in TV, link below as always. I've also watched some Icy Harry, and before you go clicking the links, I do want to warn you that they have done horror mod Let's Plays, so brace yourself if you need to. But truth be told, I don't actually really watch much of Let's Plays, or really any sort of Minecraft content for the most part. The only person who regularly posts Minecraft content that I'm actually subscribed to is Fingies. And if you've seen Fingies' content, you probably understand me when I say it is simply beyond explanation. If you go to their channel, you need to brace yourself, but not because it's horror content. But it really is fantastic, creative stuff, and I think if you go to their channel, you'll have a pretty good time. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, I decided to make this series for a couple reasons. One is that I really want to be able to create a true Let's Play with real-time game commentary, but current accommodations don't allow for that. I can get pretty animated in-game, and in fact it is nothing at all like my scripted style, and my fiancé and I are living in a one-bedroom Airbnb. So I don't want to disturb him with overly loud commentary. And writing a script allows me to record my voice elsewhere. The other reason is, if you've watched my other video, you know about my pride streak. I believe this is what a lot of gamers need right now. Now, you might think that's not the case, and if it were, then the top trending Minecraft videos would be completely different. And of course, you know, I'm just me. I'm not particularly educated in psychology or anything, so I could in fact be totally off base. When I say I think this is what gamers need, is a sort of very slow-paced, relaxed, chill kind of series where they can enjoy the familiarity of Minecraft while I share my thoughts surrounding current day issues. Because I think the world can be a pretty scary place, and Minecraft is a sort of sanctuary away from that, in my opinion. And talking about these things slowly, delving into the topics and what makes them such scary issues, takes away some of that nervous energy around it, or at least I hope it does. Now, I do intend to talk at least a little bit about the playthrough that's being shown right now. It isn't just a placeholder for something visual while I blather away, but it is a little difficult to be speaking from a script and trying to line it up with what I'm doing in the game. So, you know, I'll try a bit, but there's no guarantee it will be relevant at the part that I'm speaking at. So back to the topic of why I started this series. When I look at my YouTube feed, it's usually full to the brim of heavily edited stuff. Clickbait titles and thumbnails, fast-paced content to keep you on the edge of your seat, effects and emojis and second-by-second subtitles. To be honest, I find it pretty overwhelming. And content creators who do this, I'm sure, are amazingly talented people. It's just that I think there is an overload of overstimulating content right now. I've heard a few different creators mention that people's attention span is pretty short these days, that they need to be continually stimulated to watch a video from start to finish. So the kind of content nowadays is stuff that's heavily edited to be continually stimulating and exciting. So I guess this is the antithesis of those videos. It's nice and slow-paced. There's not any clickbait in the titles. The thumbnails aren't overly exciting, and the topic I list in the title is what you get. The content itself is pretty freeform and meandering, touching on different subjects as I explore a topic. But there really isn't any gimmicks at play here. There are no hidden gems that you have to watch the entire video to see or hear, at least none that I have planned. There's no one answer being dangled in front of you. It's just a calm environment where you can listen to me talk about things that have happened in my life and what I learned from them. There's no watch till the end of the video or any sort of pressure to stick around. Now, if you have trouble with anxiety like I do, I hope you'll find this style of commentary helpful. When I play it back and listen to my own voice, I find the slow pace pretty calming, so I hope others do too. And I also hope this might help people sort of rebuild their attention span. It's almost like training your brain, I think. Even if listening to something this slow-paced isn't really comfortable at first, maybe it can make it just bearable enough to watch a little longer than you usually would. I want to say that I'm not always going to be talking about hot button topics, because even in a relaxed environment, I think that can get exhausting. For me, learning how to make my peace with these topics has provided a huge amount of emotional relief, but it does take some effort and willingness to think about pretty unpleasant things, even if I've wrapped them up in a nice package for you. But I do want to touch on them now and then, because I think there's a lot of stress and anxiety around those topics, and I'm hopeful that exploring them in this way can make them a little easier to swallow. I think I'll keep this one short, as it's late and I'm tired. And I think I've said pretty much everything I wanted to say on this topic. I do hope people find it enjoyable and that it succeeds in providing a safe space to explore sensitive topics. And maybe one day I'll do a proper Let's Play too, instead of podcast with a Minecraft video. I don't know how that'll turn out or if the same people would even enjoy it, because, as I mentioned, my style when I usually play the game with friends is completely different. I am very loud, very animated, and I like to crack jokes that make people laugh. So, who knows? We'll see how things pan out.